Hey everybody, I'm Shawn and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how I embroidered this light and airy sketch fill design onto a t-shirt using my Bai Mirror 15 needle embroidery machine, and I'm also going to be using the Hoop Master hooping station and my mighty hoops so that I can get my placement just right. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so for this video I'm going to be using this shirt that I messed up initially, and I went through and removed all of the stitches. I'm not sure if you can see where I previously stitched up at, but I used a seam ripper and took the stitches out, and so I'm going to try to save it. I already have where I want my center point to be on this shirt because I'm just going to use this is the 12 by 15 mighty hoop, and of course this is the hooping station, so I can make sure that I get it nice and straight. Normally I would just use some fusible stabilizer, but I don't have any fusible stabilizer that is long enough, or I should say wide enough. You see, it's not wide enough. So what I'm going to be doing, I am going to put down some cutaway first. I mean, because I want to keep it nice and stabilized, but I'm gonna put cutaway down first, and then I'll put the the fusible on top, and I'm gonna use some little magnets to hold that back on the side, and then I'll clamp these down as well, okay? So these are the little magnets that I'm going to use. They're just magnets I got off of Amazon, and I'm just going to use that to put at the backs of the hoop bottom until I get the shirt on there, and then I'll take it off. And so now that I have my stabilizers on, and remember, when you have the fusible, you want that bumpy part that would actually adhere to your fabric to be facing up so that it'll be on the inside of your shirt. And I'm going to put the t-shirt on the hooping station, and you've got your center line here that you could use as a visual. And I know that I need this to go up a little bit higher, so I'm just going to move that up, and I can feel a little bit lower. Okay, and so now I'm not going to use water soluble or anything like that. What I do want to make sure is, since the part that sticks out the most on the bottom is facing up, I want to make sure that I have this part where the little lip is facing down so that it'll go forward into the Bai embroidery machine that I'm going to be using today. So I'm just going to hoop it. And I'm going to reach under there and take those magnets out before I forget. I really could have just taken them off after I took this off of the station. But now we've got it hooped. It's pretty well centered. You see where the dot is? There's like a little hole right there, and the tape goes right there. So now we're going to go right over here to the machine, and we're going to get ready to stitch it. Okay, so this is the Bai Mirror 1501. It is a 15 needle, and the shirt is going to be going on upside down. So remember when I said that the longest part sticks out towards the top? That's what I mean right there, that longest part right there of the mighty hoop. And so the little part that has like a lip right here, that's going to go in on the right hand side of this machine. So I want to make sure that the shirt does go around the arm. Okay, and just want to make sure I don't have it caught up anywhere, because even though this is a multi-needle, you can get your stuff caught up. All right, I'm gonna come over here, make sure that's good. Okay, so now I already know that this design is going to work for this shirt, but I want to trace just to make sure. So let's see if I could get this a little closer. I don't know if you can see or not, but over here there's a button that says start. And so the start button on this machine, remember, it does the quick trace of your design. So it's gonna, it'll turn the light on down here. And I could tell when it was tracing that it's not coming up as high as I would like for it to. So I am going to use my buttons here and just move it a little bit so that the frame goes further back towards the machine. And now I'm going to trace again. That is just about where I want it to be because I want it to come right below that tape. Okay, so now I'm going to take the tape off because I don't want to stitch it on here. And painter's tape usually does not, you know, fight with you to take off of the fabric, but sometimes I come across some that is not as easy. But anyways, we've already got our colors and everything set up, and now we are just going to stitch. Okay, so we will let this stitch. This is a 20,000 plus design stitch out, so it will take a little bit of time, but not as long as it would had it been a full fill stitch, because this is a sketch stitch, so it's not going to take as long to stitch out. Okay, I was just trying to get the camera adjusted a little bit. And it seems like part of it skipped, but I'm gonna just have faith and let this stitch out and see. But I don't know if I could zoom in a little bit better, but it seems like part of the stitching skipped. Oh no, it's filling it in now. Okay. To hit stop for just a moment, just because there's this piece of thread from the other needle that's hanging out, and I don't want to take a chance of that getting caught and sucked into the stitching. Just let this stitch out for a little while. It's just stitching. There are only 4 color changes to it. So it's going to stitch the purple part that says Beach Babe. Then it's going to stitch out the starfish, one color. The seashell will be another color. And then both the starfish and the seashell will be outlined in black. Now at this point, it's actually just going through and doing the outline, because I have a bean stitch of the same color that will be the outline, and it'll give the design a little bit of, I guess, personality, I should say. Can't think of the right word right now, but you'll see what I'm talking about when it's all stitched out. So I will be back. She's still stitching. I'm just checking in with you all to let you know she's still stitching. Haven't had any problems so far. Not that I'm expecting to have any problems, but you know, this is embroidery, so sometimes things happen. Okay, so we are still stitching. We're down to the bottom line where it's stitching out the word babe. So we're about halfway through this stitching. And I forgot to look at the clock, so I don't know how much time this is actually taking, but I am only running this at 700 stitches per minute. And every now and then I see that the machine is actually slowing down to about 650, depending on the angles at which it goes, because it won't go a steady 700 when it stitches. It does, I forgot what they call it, but depending on what angle the machine has to go, it will slow down. So it's not a true 700 stitches per minute. Okay, checking back in. It is still progressing. It's already stitched out the word babe, and now it's going through doing that outline with the bean stitch going all the way around the word. So we're almost done. Okay, so now it's stitching the seashell part of the design. Standing from the angle I'm at, it almost looks like the shirt is being stitched crooked, but it is hooped straight, so it might just be my eyes playing tricks on me. But I do like how the stitching is really nice and thin. And I'll just let it continue stitching. Okay, so I stepped away for a moment and it's already over to the starfish being stitched out. And now the last step is, or the last stitch I should say, is the black that's going to just outline the seashell and the starfish to give it a little bit more character. I think character is the word for me today. I think that way you can see it a little bit better. so now it's all done with the seashell, and the stitching around the starfish is not a whole lot. I just wanted it to have a little bit of character so it didn't just look like a star. And that's a bean stitch that it's doing around it right now. And I'm gonna pull this back a little bit. Just because it's almost done and I don't want to trip over it. Okay, so it is all done, and I'm going to take it off of the machine, give you all a look-see. Not too bad. And so what I'll do now, I'm going to take this off of the hoop. I'm going to clean up the stabilizer, and I'll press the back out. So I'll get over to the table. Okay, so we're over at the table now, and this is the inside of the shirt, of course. So what I'm going to do is take the tearaway stabilizer off, and now this shirt is for me. I would not use tearaway stabilizer on a shirt that I would present to someone else, simply because back here you're not going to get all of it out, but it will eventually wash out. I mean, I guess you could, but if it was something where it wasn't a whole lot being left on, it wouldn't be a big deal. But when you really think about it, there's going to be a lot of stabilizer up under there, because all up under that star there's stabilizer, starfish. So I'm going to go through and just tear this out as carefully as possible. Got a lot of little pieces here. And I do have my iron warming up, because after I get all of the tearaway out, I'll go back and I'll trim around the fusible and then iron it down. It's not always easy getting that stabilizer out. And I'm just using the scissors right now to try to rip it just enough so that I can get it pulled out. I don't want to accidentally puncture the shirt, and then it will have been messed up twice, because remember, this is a shirt that I already messed up and I was saving it with something else stitched onto it. Okay, we are almost done. And I'm a little late on getting summer themed shirts stitched out. Let's see here. Even though this isn't live, I feel like I get nervous just because I know I'm recording something that other people are gonna watch. Then it's like, oh my goodness, just come on and get off already. Just come on out of here so that I can get to the good part of the shirt and actually seeing how it looks. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that part. I'll get all of this extra stuff off. And then I'm going to go through and I will trim the back. No, not the back. Well, it is on the inside, but it's the fusible stabilizer. I'm going to trim around that. And sometimes I could get it trimmed really nice and neat. Sometimes it needs a little bit of help. Okay, let's shake that. Okay, so I am gonna leave it, yeah, I'm gonna leave it just like that. Maybe take a little bit more off. I have thread up there. A little bit more off down here. Okay, I'm not gonna be putting any tender touch or anything on the back of it because this is for me and I don't need all of that. I am going to make sure that I do apply a little bit of pressure as I iron and make sure that the no-show mesh does properly adhere to the inside of the shirt. And I do have this little mini ironing board on my table, just in case you're wondering. Okay, so I think that is good. I'm gonna turn it right side out and we will see how it looks. And by the way, y'all, this is just a Gildan, I think it was called Gildan 500, but they changed the name, so I don't know what the numbers are now. Let's see here. So that's how it's looking on the front. And that's it. I will iron around the outside a little bit, but it's okay. I'm not going to go through all of that right now. I just wanted to show you all a sketch stitch design that's stitched out onto a t-shirt. It's really nice and thin, not something that's going to be feeling all heavy and bulky on the t-shirt. And you know, if you want, you probably could use the tearaway and let it wash away, and then you won't have anything. After a few washings, the tearaway will come out, hopefully. I don't know, it might not. I don't know. So anyways, this is how I did it, and I like the no-show mesh. I know one of my earlier videos, I did a sweatshirt that I embroidered, and it was one of my videos with the highest views, and I used the wrong stabilizer because I did not have the right type of stabilizer. But for this is what I would normally use, the no-show mesh. And that is it. So before I get to rambling on and on, you all tell me what you think. like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, and until next time, you all keep taking care of yourselves, okay?